Wake up, quick! We're gonna be late!
My mother's voice broke through my dream as she gently shook my shoulder. I blinked, slowly opening my eyes. She stood beside my bed, smiling.
Today we're having lunch at Grandma and Grandpa's. Remember? We promised to be there by 12:30. Come on, get up.
I looked at the clock. It was already 12:15. In a rush, I jumped out of bed, washed up, and somehow made it to Grandma and Grandpa's doorstep, just as the clock struck 12:30. We lived in a quiet little town in England. Grandpa and Grandma's home was right next to ours, a warm and simple bungalow. Ours stood a little taller, a 2-story detached house. My uncle and aunt lived in another house close by. The ground floor was theirs, while my cousins Jack and his partner Joe lived upstairs. That house looked almost the same as ours, like a mirror image. My 2 elder cousins, Yuffie and Cindy, lived with their families in separate houses of their own. Altogether, 5 houses formed a circle around a shared front yard, with stone-paved paths weaving through flowers and trees. Behind the houses, the backyard fences had been removed, joining all the gardens into one wide, open space, a garden that belonged to all of us. When we walked into Grandpa and Grandma's living room, everyone was already there, and lunch had long been ready. The room felt so warm and cozy. Faded family photos hung on the walls, and in the corner, Grandpa's favorite history books lined the bookshelf. A CD player was softly playing old Hong Kong songs from the 80s and 90s. That was the golden age of Hong Kong's music scene. The youthful years our parents remembered so fondly. My mom often said, back then, the 4 Heavenly Kings were famous across Asia, their influence rivaling even today's K-pop. On the coffee table, there was freshly brewed tea and some fruit and snacks, and the smell of braised pork ribs filled the air. Grandpa was sitting by the window, holding a folded newspaper, looking completely relaxed. Everyone else was chatting, laughing. It was a lively, happy scene. Aunt greeted us with a big smile.
You're here, come on in.
Grandma added,
Everyone's here now. Sit down. You guys must be hungry.
We all sat down, chatting while enjoying the familiar home-cooked dishes. The steaming braised pork ribs, crispy fried spring rolls, and tender stir-fried vegetables. Everything smelled amazing. From the kitchen came the comforting aroma of soup, making the whole house feel even cozier. After lunch, of course, there was fruit and my favorite bubble milk tea. Grandma always made sure to prepare it, knowing how much me, my sister, Yuffie, and Cindy loved it. I usually save some space in my stomach just for that cup. It's my little treat. Dad would head to make pure tea, sipping it with Grandpa, while Grandma and the moms preferred their collection of floral and fruit teas. They had so many, there was even a whole cabinet just for them. The other men had soda or beer. And that's how we spent our afternoon, chatting, sipping drinks, enjoying fruit, and laughing together. At that moment, Grandpa turned to me and asked,
Have you still been having that dream lately? The one where you're chasing the glowing sphere?
I admitted softly. Yes, I dreamed it again last night. Everyone grew curious at once, leaning in closer to listen. I explained, but this time the dream was different. Beside the front garden fence, I saw a bicycle, the very one my sister just bought yesterday. And at the corner of the street, the house's front wall was broken, exactly the way it looked after the accident yesterday. Grandpa frowned and asked,
So, your dream changes along with reality?
I nodded. It seems that way. All this time, I thought I was simply repeating the same dream again and again. But now I realize it's been changing all along. I just never noticed. Grandpa fell silent, his eyes thoughtful. Then he said,
Unbelievable. Your great-grandfather once told me there was something our family must accomplish. Something that would shape our destiny. He never explained what it was, only that when the time came, we would be guided toward it. This dream of yours, it reminds me of that.
That's when my uncle spoke up.
I felt the same, actually. That's why our new comic centers around the old books and objects our family has kept. We're not just creating a story, we're searching for clues. Maybe even clues linked to your dream.
As we talked, it no longer felt like an ordinary family gathering. It felt like the beginning of a secret adventure, one that we were all a part of. And for the first time, I no longer resisted the dream. Just then, my father's phone suddenly rang. He stood up and stepped aside to answer. The call was from Taiwan. It was my uncle on my father's side. We all watched quietly as father spoke, his brow furrowed deeper and deeper, his voice dropping lower, more urgent, until even the air in the room seemed to fall silent. When the call ended, he walked back to the sofa, his expression heavy. He looked around at us one by one, and then he slowly said,
"Your granduncle has just been rushed to the hospital. His condition is critical. The doctors told us to prepare for the worst."
The room froze. We had all known he was old, that his health had been failing since last year. But hearing those words, it still felt like a blow straight to the heart. The very next day, our families boarded a plane to Taiwan. Whenever I mention granduncle, I can't help but picture the bustling night markets of Taiwan. The crowded streets, filled with lively voices, and the rich aroma of beef jerky and sweet pineapple cakes, always come rushing back to my mind. In the past, whenever we visited Taiwan, granduncle would always take us wandering through the alleys of the night markets. We would snack on salt and pepper chicken, sausage wrapped in sticky rice, sweet tofu pudding, and oyster omelets. He would smile and say,
"You won't get these in England, so enjoy them while you can."
And whenever he came to visit us in England, he always brought along big bags of Taiwanese treats, beef jerky, pineapple cakes, and sun cakes, saying he wanted us to taste the flavors of Taiwan. But the memory that stands out the most is from the summer after year 3 of primary school. I still remember that afternoon. Yuffie, Cindy, Jack, and I were in the backyard. The summer sun slanted across the grass, and the air was filled with the scent of earth and fresh-cut grass. Jack was running around with a cape on his shoulders, a toy sword in his hand, chasing Yuffie's older brother in their superhero game. Meanwhile, the three of us, Yuffie, Cindy, and I, were gathered on a picnic blanket under the tree, hosting our little tea party. Yuffie held up the last cookie and asked playfully,
"Princess Kate, Princess Cindy, would either of you like this cookie?"
I laughed and said, "You can have it, Princess Yuffie," but Cindy didn't answer. She just sat there, staring into the distance, as if something had caught her attention. Yuffie nudged her and asked,
"What's wrong? Don't you want it?"
Cindy shook her head, gently set down her teacup. Her eyes grew distant, as if she were sensing something we could not see. Then she whispered,
"I feel like something's going to happen today."
I asked, "What kind of thing?" But she only shook her head slowly, still staring far away.
"I don't know, but we should stay home. Don't go out."
Of course, we didn't take her seriously. We just went on with our little tea party. But then, 2 of Jack's classmates appeared. They came to invite him to explore the witch's house. The witch's house was nothing more than an abandoned home, but people said a murder had once taken place there, and some claimed they'd seen a woman's shadow moving inside at night. Before long, the legend spread. A witch's ghost was said to live there. Jack agreed immediately. Yuffie and I begged to go along too. Cindy frowned.
"Didn't I say we shouldn't go out today?"
None of us really paid attention to Yuffie's warning. We just told her, "If you don't want to come, stay here. We'll just take a quick look and be right back." In the end, she still followed us. It was an old 2-story house, long abandoned, left to decay. The white paint on its walls had peeled away, exposing the bricks beneath. Weeds tangled the yard, dead trees leaned at the edges, their branches like withered fingers. And at the front, a broken fence slumped, half buried in the ground. We stood before the door, hesitating. Then someone reached out. The air inside was heavy, unmoving, damp, moldy. Dust rose under our footsteps, catching the thin beams of light that slipped through the window cracks, drifting like a pale fog. Inside, it was worse. Wallpaper peeling, a chandelier hanging crooked, one lamp already on the floor, furniture eaten by rats stained with mold. The corridor stretches inward, straight and quiet, To the right lies the kitchen and dining room, and to the left, the staircase rising toward the second floor. I was about to climb when Yuffie suddenly grabbed me. Her face was pale, her voice trembling.
Don't go up. From the moment we stepped inside, I've heard a voice. It keeps whispering. Don't go upstairs. It's dangerous.
We froze, but none of us heard anything. Jack's classmates only laughed.
Stop pretending, there's no voice.
But Yuffie shook her head.
It's real. Someone is warning me.
Still, the two boys ignored her. They rushed up the stairs. Yuffie and Cindy stayed back, rooted to the spot. Yuffie's brother Jack and I followed halfway, peering into the shadowy hallway above. The boys had already opened a door, peeking into a bedroom. And then, Jack's hand clamped around mine. His voice dropped, sharp and urgent.
There, on the bed, a woman, she's standing there.
My heart jumped. I looked. The room was empty, only a messy bed, a chair piled with clothes, tattered curtains swaying at the window. No one's there, I whispered. But Jack's grip tightened.
She's coming out!
He dragged me and Yuffie's brother down the stairs. The boys, startled by his cry, bolted after us. At the door, Yuffie and Cindy were already screaming, running out into the open air. We didn't stop until we reached home. Out of breath, too shaken to speak. Jack's classmates cornered him.
Did you really see a woman? You weren't just trying to scare us, right?
Jack's voice trembled.
I'm not lying. I really saw her.
The other boys swallowed hard.
Then, did she follow us back?
Jack glanced behind him, into the empty yard. He swallowed again.
I don't think so. I don't see her now.
And then, from the doorway, my mother's voice rang out.
Wash your hands. Dinner's ready.
And just like that, we went home, each of us pretending nothing had happened. Original story updates every 2 weeks. Like and subscribe to never miss a tale. Step into a world of unknown fantasies and listen to stories never told. Together, let us explore the forgotten, the hidden, and the undiscovered.